A 9-year-old flaw just turned the entire Linux ecosystem into a massive security risk. Security researcher Hunwoo Kim found a way to chain two specific kernel bugs, the XFRM ESP page cache write and the RxRPC page cache write, into an exploit called Dirty Frag. This isn't a theoretical problem, it's a verified method to gain root access on every major distribution. The worst part about this failure is that it has been sitting in the code for nearly a decade. For 9 years, the system that everyone claims is more secure than Windows had a door wide open for anyone who knew where to look. Kim published a proof-of-concept exploit, meaning the instructions on how to break into these systems are now public. Usually, when something this bad comes out, there is a patch ready to go. This time, there is nothing. No CVE number has been assigned yet, and no official fix is available for the public. If you are running Ubuntu, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS Stream, AlmaLinux, OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, or Fedora, your system is currently vulnerable. This isn't a maybe. It has been confirmed. The flaw is an unauthenticated privilege escalation, which is a fancy way of saying someone can take total control of your computer without needing your password. They can tweak protected system files in the memory because the system doesn't have the proper authorization checks to stop them. The situation is a total mess because the embargo was broken. In the security world, researchers usually keep quiet until a fix is ready so the bad guys don't get a head start. But since the document was published early, the maintainers at Linux distros at vs.openwall.org are essentially scrambling. We are looking at a zero-day flaw that allows threat actors to gain root privileges on the most widely used and influential Linux distributions on the planet. Right now, you are stuck. You can try to mitigate the risk by disabling the vulnerable kernel modules, but doing that breaks other parts of your system. Specifically, it kills IPsec VPNs and AFS, so your choice is to either leave your front door unlocked for hackers or break your own internet tools just to stay safe. It's a complete system collapse of trust. While everyone argues over which OS is better, the core of the Linux kernel has been sitting on a 9-year-old ticking time bomb. Hit the subscribe button if you're tired of these companies letting basic security slip for a decade while pretending everything is fine. The reality for the average person using these distros is that the system is cooked until those maintainers can push out an emergency update. We're talking about a critical severity rating, likely a 9.0 or higher, because it requires zero authentication to ruin a machine. The way this exploit chains these two specific page cache write bugs shows that even the most stable parts of the kernel aren't actually safe from being manipulated. The fact that this stayed hidden for 9 years raises a much bigger question about what else is currently sitting in your system files waiting to be triggered. The security maintainers are in a corner because this document is live before the shields are up. Because the embargo was broken, there is no CVE, no official tracking number, which means many automated security scanners won't even flag this as a threat yet. It's a ghost in the system. The developers at Linux-distros at vss.openwall.org are being forced to work in public view, admitting that this dirty frag document is being published only because the secret is already out. When we talk about a 9-year-old flaw, we are talking about code that has survived dozens of stable updates. Every major version of the kernel you've used for nearly a decade has carried this DNA. The researcher, Hunwoo Kim, proved that the XFRM ESP and RxRPC modules are the specific weak points. These are parts of the system that handle how data is written to the memory cache. By messing with these, a person can bypass the lock on system files. Usually, you need a password, root, to touch those files. Dirty Frag just lets them walk through the wall. This is a failure of the many eyes theory. People love to say Linux is safe because everyone can see the code, but for 9 years, nobody noticed that these two bugs could be chained together like this. It took one researcher to show that the system is reliably exploitable without any race conditions. In simple terms, a race condition is when a hack only works if the timing is perfect. This hack doesn't care about timing. It works reliably, which makes it a weapon, not just a glitch. Think about the friend using these systems for work or gaming. You are told to use Linux for privacy and to avoid the spyware in other operating systems. But now, the very core of your machine is exposed. You're told that the mitigation, the temporary fix, is to disable these modules. But if you do that, your IPsec VPN stops working. If you're a remote worker or someone who cares about privacy, your VPN is your lifeline. The fix is to break your security to save your security. It's a circular failure that leaves you exposed either way. Experts are already warning that this will receive a severity rating of 9.0 or higher. On a scale of 1 to 10, a 9.0 is the house is on fire territory. It is unauthenticated, meaning the attacker doesn't need to be logged in as you. They just need access to the system to escalate themselves to the God mode of root privileges. Fedora, Ubuntu, and Red Hat are the giants of the Linux world. They run the servers that run the internet. If they are all vulnerable, the entire neighborhood is at risk. We are currently in a waiting game. Until a patch is made public, every one of these major distros is wide open. You are essentially sitting on a system where the protected files aren't actually protected. It's a security risk that shouldn't exist in 2026, yet here we are, looking at code from a decade ago that is still breaking under pressure. The system didn't just fail, it collapsed under the weight of its own old code. But the real drama isn't just that the bug exists, it's how the community is reacting now that the secret is out and the patches are nowhere to be found. The reaction from the community is pure chaos because the secret is out before the armor is ready. Usually, developers have weeks to fix a bug before the public finds out, but because someone leaked the details early, the maintainers are basically fighting a fire with no water. They admitted that the dirty Frag document had to be published because the embargo has currently been broken. This means the bad guys have the blueprint to the house, while the locksmith is still trying to find his keys. It's hard to trust a system that tells you it's the secure choice, while confirmed vulnerabilities are sitting in Ubuntu, Red Hat, and Fedora with no fix in sight. These are the distributions that people use for serious work, for servers, and for staying safe online. Now, those same users are told they are exposed until fixes arrive. If you're using AlmaLinux or CentOS Stream, you're in the same boat. You're holding a device that can be taken over by anyone who can run a simple piece of code, and there isn't a single button you can click to make it go away yet. This is a massive security risk for your personal data. When a flaw gets a 9.0 severity rating, it means the failure is complete. It affects the core way the system handles memory. Big tech likes to talk about innovation and new features, but they left a 9-year-old hole in the floor and just covered it with a rug. Now that the rug is pulled back, we see that root privileges, the highest level of power on a computer, are basically up for grabs. The move to Linux was supposed to be the escape from the system collapse of other platforms, but this proves that no code is perfect. If you want to keep your system safe, you have to watch for these patches like a hawk. The moment your distro says an update is ready, you need to grab it, because right now you are running on borrowed time. This isn't just a small glitch. It's a reminder that even the experts can miss a massive mistake for nearly a decade. Is it time to stop pretending that any operating system is actually safe, or are we just waiting for the next 9-year-old bug to be found? Let me know if you're planning to disable those kernel modules or if you're just going to risk it until the patch drops. Drop a comment below with your plan. Subscribe for more deep dives into the tech drama they don't want you to see.